today we are going to focus on a topic of transmission media, and for this particular lecture we are focusing on guided transmission media. So first of all, let us begin with the definition which we slightly briefly looked into in our previous lecture also. So transmission media is basically, as you understand by the name, it is a media over which the communication is going to take place in computer networks. So basically it is the physical medium through which data is transferred from one device to another or from sender to receiver within a network. Now these media can be wired or can be wireless. The choice of medium depends on what all factors. These factors are distance, speed, interference and so many others. We will be looking into these factors also which affect the choice of the media, whether it is going to be wired or it is going to be wireless. So as of now, we in this lecture, as I told you, that we are going to focus on wired media. But before going into this, let me explore or let me introduce you to one of the most convenient way of transferring data from one computer to another. And this was the way which was opted even before the birth of networking, and this is nothing but the magnetic media. So magnetic media, when I say that means your data is actually saved on some storage media and transferred to transferred physically from one station to another. So in this process, if you can see, yes, the data is being transferred from one location to another or from one station to another, but there is not kind of a line or a connection between the two locations or the two stations. But yes, in legacy systems it was one of the most convenient way to transfer data by storing it in the magnetic media and then transferring that media from one place to another. Though yes, I agree that it seemed an old fashioned way in today's world of high speed internet, but when there is kind of huge data which is kind of not required to be transmitted then and there, not required to be transmitted in an online real time manner, the magnetic media can play a very well good role. So apart from magnetic media, if we look into types of transmission media, as I have told you, there are two. One is guided media, another one is unguided media. So what all falls under the guided media and what all falls under the unguided media is given shown with the help of a figure which is available on the screen. So under the category of guided media, there comes twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, optical fiber. Then comes strip line and micro strip line. So the above three, which are twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and optical fiber cable, these are the most I can say commonly used guided medias, which also we are going to explore in this lecture. Then there comes the category of unguided media. Within unguided media we have radio waves, we have microwaves and infrared waves too. So let us begin with our guided media thing. So when we say guided media, it is also known as bounded transmission media. It is also referred as wired media. That means there is a kind of physical link between the stations through which the data is being sent. So signals are being transmitted, they are in a direct and a confined manner on a narrow pathway or through a narrow pathway by using the physical links. That is what a guided media is. Now if we talk about guided media, it is having we can say it may have a high speed, it is more secure as compared to unguided media, we can say, but it is used for comparatively shorter distances. So imagine a scenario where from one part of globe you are trying to send data onto the another part of the globe. So then in that situation it is not going to be a sensible choice to use the guided media. So unguided media will be a better choice if the locations are far apart. Then if we talk about the types of guided media, as I have told you, there are three major types of guided media apart from stripline and micro stripline, but we are going to use, or we are going to study about the twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and fiber optics. So with that, let us move on to that particular topic. So with that category, let us move on to our first type, which is twisted pair cable. You can say it is one of the most ancient way, or it is one of the most legacy ways of transferring data from one place to another. So a twisted pair cable, if you see, it is made up of two plastic insulated copper wires which are twisted together to form a single media. I will be showing a picture of that also, and out of these wires, only one is going to carry the actual signal. Then the question definitely comes up that what is the use of the another one. The another one is used for the ground reference, and why they are kind of twisted, as the name indicates, twisted pair cable. So why these copper wires are twisted with one another? The twist between the wires are helpful in reducing the noise, which is actually in the form of electromagnetic interference and crosstalks. So twisted pair cable, if we look into the figure, here is a figure which is giving us an idea of twisted pair cable. As you can see, there are two cables which are twisted in the form of, we can say, a helical structure, and this twisting is done in order to we can say reduce the noise and crosstalk, as I have already told you. Now moving on, further, if we talk about the types of twisted pair cable, it consists of we will be moving into the types, but let us first understand the structure. So it consists of two separately insulated conductor wires twisted about each other, and generally it is not the one pair of these kind of twisted wires, but there are several such pairs which are bundled together in a protective sheath. And here we can look here, that here if you can see, there are four such twisted pairs are bundled under one particular protective cover, or one protective sheath, we can say. Then as I was telling you that we will be looking into the types of twisted pair cables. There are two types of twisted pair cables. One is shielded twisted pair, which is commonly known as STP cable. Another one is unshielded twisted pair, which is known as UTP cable. So the short forms are STP and UTP. So when we talk about STP cable comes with the twisted wire pair covered in a metal foil. This makes it more indifferent to noise and crosstalk. This makes it more we can say more non-vulnerable to noise and crosstalks, if we talk about. So basically this shielded twisted pair consists of a special jacket, which can be in the form of a copper braid covering on a foil shield to block the external interference, and it is used in a fast data rate Ethernet and in voice and data channels of the telephone lines. So this was majorly shielded twisted pair. So if we look into the advantages of shielded twisted pair, it is going to give us a better performance considering a higher data rate as comparison to a UTP, which is unshielded twisted pairs. It eliminates crosstalk to a reasonable level, we can say, and it is comparatively faster as compared to UTP. When we look into disadvantages of shielded twisted pair, it is more expensive because of the structure. On the similar ground, it becomes more bulky also, and it is comparatively difficult to install and manufacture this shielded twisted pair. So yes, comparatively faster and having an efficient performance, but on the contrary it is difficult to install and manufacture with more expensive and bulky things. So this was about we can say shielded twisted pair. Now moving on to the next category of or the next type of twisted pair cables is UTP, which is unshielded twisted pair cable. Unshielded twisted pair cable, it consists of two insulated copper wires twisted around one another. So basically there is no kind of there is no protective sheath, or there is no kind of copper wire braid on this wires. So basically these two insulated copper wires are twisted around one another, and this type of cable has the ability to block interference and does not depend on the physical shield for this purpose. We do not have any physical shield in any case here, but these copper wires are kind of insulated twisted around one another. And the major application in which the UTP cables were actually kind of used in the legacy systems was the telephonic applications. The major telephone exchanges were kind of we can say banking upon these twisted pair cables, categorically unshielded twisted pair cables, UTPs, for their transmission. So looking into the categories of this UTP, UTP is having 7 different categories, and all these 7 different categories are having their own usages or having their own specific usages. So in computer networks we can say among these 7 categories, Cat5, Cat5e, Cat6. These are the 3 categories which are commonly used if we talk about computer networks, and these UTP cables are connected with each other or connected with kind of we can say devices using RJ45 connectors. Now this RJ45 connector is also kind of a we can say an important thing if we talk about the very small entities which are used in computer networks. RJ45 is yes very commonly used for connecting. Now unshielded twisted pair, as I have told you that they do not have any kind of copper weaving on to them. Looking into the advantages of unshielded twisted pairs, because of the absence of that covering, they are kind of least expensive. Also they are pretty easy to install with kind of a reasonably high speed capacity. If we look into the disadvantages of these UTP cables, they are lower in capacity and performance as compared to STP. STP outperforms UTP if we talk about the capacity and all those kinds of things. And short distance transmission due to attenuation is kind of is actually a problem if we use this UTP thing. So till this point we have looked into what actually the transmission media is, then we looked into the magnetic media as a form of data transmission. Then from there we looked into the types of transmission media, guided transmission media, unguided transmission media, and within the guided transmission media, as I have told you, we have 3: twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and fiber optics. Twisted pair cable we have seen the detail along with its 2 types, STP and UTP, shielded twisted pair and unshielded twisted pair. Moving further, the next type or the next category which we are going to explore is coaxial cable. So coaxial cable has 2 wires of copper. The core wire lies in the center and it is made up of solid conductor. This core is enclosed in an insulating sheath. The second wire is wrapped around over this sheath, and that too in turn encased by insulator sheet. So 2 wires on 2 I can say different levels, and each and every, I mean both of these wires are enclosed in an insulated cover, and this whole setup or this whole assembly is again covered by a plastic cover. So, here is a figure in which you can see there is a central core on which we have a dielectric insulator, then there is a metallic sheath also, and then the whole assembly, as I have told you, is enclosed in a plastic jacket. So, this is actually a figure of your we can say the internal figure of the coaxial cable. Moving further with this coaxial cable, if you can see here, this coaxial cables are more commonly connected using BNC connectors. So, BNC connectors has been shown in this figure, and how this cable is going to be connected to this BNC connector is also shown with the help of a figure. So, this was actually your coaxial cables. Now, because of its structure, your coaxial cable is capable of carrying high frequency signals than that of the twisted pair cables. So, yes, we can say that coaxial cables are better in terms of performance if we talk about its comparison with twisted pair cables, because it is having a wrapped structure, and this wrapped structure provides a good shield against noise and crosstalk. Coaxial cable also provides high bandwidth rates up to high bandwidth rates of up to 450 Mbps. So, this is the one of the we can say standard measure of the bandwidth rate of coaxial cables. Now, as I have told you that there are two categories of twisted pair cables, UTP and STP. Going with coaxial cables, we have three categories. One is RG59, another one is RG58, and another one is the third one is RG11. Here RG stands for radio government. So, three types or three categories of coaxial cables: RG59, which is mostly used in cable TV applications; RG58, which is more commonly known as or more commonly used as thin Ethernet, and then RG11 is known as thick Ethernet also. Now, these cables, as I have shown you in the previous figure, that these are connected using BNC connectors and a BNC-T, both were shown in the figure, and then BNC-T is nothing but the BNC terminator. So, BNC terminator, it is used to terminate the wire at the far ends. Moving further, after looking into the structure of coaxial cable, let us try to explore what are the advantages or disadvantages, pros and cons both of coaxial cables. So, coaxial cables have high bandwidth. They are relatively easy to install. More reliable and durable. So, when I am saying more reliable and durable, so I am comparing it with the twisted pair cable. It is less affected by noise or crosstalk or even electromagnetic interference. That means it is going to give us a good performance, we can say. And this coaxial cable, or the generally coaxial cables can support multiple channels. But it is not only the advantages which we need to see. Disadvantages of coaxial cables, if we talk about, these coaxial cables are expensive, obviously, as compared to twisted pair cables. Coaxial cables are expensive. Then they must be grounded in order to provide any crosstalk. If they are not grounded, they become very vulnerable to crosstalks. As this coaxial cable is having multiple layers, as we have already seen in the figure of the structure of coaxial cable, it is very bulky. Then there is a chance of breaking the coaxial cable if such things happen, and hackers, what do? They attach kind of a T-joint into this coaxial cable, which compromises obviously the security of data. So hackers can do they can break this coaxial table and attach a T joint which compromises the whole system or security, we can say. So till this point we looked into twisted pair cable and coaxial cable in detail. The third category of guided media, which is very important, although in figure we have seen strip lines and micro strip lines also, but I have told you that we are going to explore the three categories. So moving on to the third category, it is fiber optics. So optics, when I am saying that means some sort of light properties involved. So this fiber optic cable works on the properties of light. So when a light ray hits at critical angle, it tends to refract at 90 degree. So this property of light is being used in kind of generation, or is being used in making this fiber optics. The core of fiber optics is made up of high quality glass or plastic through which these light rays can be easily refracted. So from one end of the fiber optic, the light is emitted, it travels through, and it at the other end the light detector which is placed, it is going to detect the light stream and converts it into the electric data. Now while traveling from one end to another, it is kind of, we can say, it keeps on refracting at different angles, because the whole your optic or the whole cable is having is made up of glass or plastic. If we talk about speed, it is actually the highest mode of speed if we talk about these three categories which are twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and fiber optic. It comes in two different modes. One is single mode fiber and another one is multi mode fiber. Single mode fiber can carry a single ray of light, while multi mode fiber is capable of carrying multiple beams of light. Now this fiber optics also comes in unidirectional and bidirectional capabilities. Unidirectional, as the name indicate, light can only travel in one direction, but if it is bidirectional, then both the direct from sender to receiver or vice versa, the light can travel. Also to connect and to access these fiber optics, special type of connectors are used. These are subscriber channel could be SC, straight tip ST or MT, RJ. So now here you can see there is a figure which is giving you a quick idea about how these fiber optics looks like. So at the end, if you can see, there is kind of a glass wire which is coming out of these coverings, we can say. So this was the cross section figure of your fiber optics. So we have seen twisted pair cable, we have seen coaxial cables, and we have also seen these fiber optics which comes in unidirectional and bidirectional capabilities. Now the WDM, which is wavelength division multiplexer, that supports these two modes, unidirectional and bidirectional both. Looking into the advantages and disadvantages, if we talk about advantages of optical fiber cable are, as I have told you, the capacity and in turn the bandwidth is we can say highest among these three. They are lightweight, they are less prone to attenuation, then immunity to electromagnetic interferences also there, because there are no electromagnetic waves. It is based on the principle of optics, and light waves are kind of carrying transmission. So for electromagnetic interference they are actually immune, and they are resistant to corrosive materials also. If we look into the disadvantages of optical fiber cable, yes, they are difficult to install and maintain, and incurs high cost definitely. But because of this advantages, and if we look into the applications of optical fiber cable, we have huge applications nowadays, and this is one of the most popular guided media which is prominent in today's world. So we have these optical fiber cables are being used in medical purposes, used in several type of medical instruments, defense purposes, used in transmission of data. Then communication is obviously, they are largely used in the formation of internet cables whenever, wherever they are required, and they are also used for industrial purposes, which are used for lighting purposes, and in safety measures of designing the interior and exterior of automobiles. So here in this lecture we looked into the guided transmission media. In more detail, if we talk about, we looked into twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and fiber optics along with their structure and applications, advantages and disadvantages also. Here is a list of references which is being used for the preparation of lecture. Hope you have enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next. Till then, take care. Goodbye.